opening ceremony of District 7020 President-elect Training Seminar. This is going to be a little different than you may have been used to in the past, but keep in mind, it's the bottom line. It's about presidents and secretaries getting comfortable with being the leaders of our district to take us into the future. Whatever the future has to offer, Rotary needs to be a strong and vibrant force. So I welcome you all here. I'd like to cover a few housekeeping issues. Keep in mind that, well, probably most of you have been on Zoom calls. This is a little different than you may be used to because you are on a Zoom webinar. So we have much more controls over what's happening. Really important that we limit the voice, the audio for everybody so that what the speaker is saying has more clarity and we don't have any background noise. So our host, Lindsay Cancino, who I appreciate his help, thank you, Lindsay, who is going to make sure everybody gets muted appropriately. And we need to follow all the etiquette, be polite, do what we have to do, use the chat box to send messages. But remember at the bottom, there's also a Q&A button, which you may not have seen on Zoom calls. That's where you would put any questions that we will deal with at the end of all the speakers. So when we come to the end of the session, So when we come to the end of the session, then we will respond to those questions that are on the Q&A. Also want to remind you on the bottom of a laptop screen, it might be different on iPads and iPhones, there's an interpretation button. And whether you're English or French, you need to choose the language you want to hear that in. And you could see from what's on your screen right now, some directions as to how to handle all these. We have a real great opportunity to hear from some amazing leaders, not only within our district, but also internationally. So we're really fortunate. And remember, this is just the first, this is the opening ceremony. And yeah, we're not going to have our flags brought in like we usually do. So visualize in your mind what your flag looks like and look at it right now, because we got to skip some of those formalities so we can get to the core of making sure everybody is ready for the year. Timing is going to be important for us. So while we get started a little late this morning, over the next 10 sessions, we're going to work really hard to keep us focused, keep us right on time. Each presenter has been given a time, and we're asking them to stick to those times. So with that, I would like to move to introducing to you our very first speaker this morning. And it is such an honor and a privilege to be able to introduce to you the President-elect of Rotary International, Holger Knack. Now, Holger is going to be the president for 2021, and he's from the Rotary Club of, well, it's in Germany, and I'm going to let him pronounce it for you, because I would just destroy it if I even tried. Holger is the CEO of NAC AG, which is a real estate company. Previously, he was partner and general manager of NAC Enterprises, which is a 125-year-old family business. He's obviously done everything there is to do in Rotary, well respected around the world. One thing I note on his resume, he's president of his golf club, and I'm looking forward to the day we get around to golf in, Holger. You won't have time for the next couple of years, but I'm ready when you are. He's been a Rotary member since 1992, and as I say, served everything. He's also was co-chair of the host organization committee for the Rotary International Convention in Hamburg, Germany last year. And on a personal level, I have to say thank you, because I thought Hamburg was a fantastic convention. And I know I'm biased, but part of that was because of Holger and his team did an amazing job of keeping it organized. So Holger and his wife, Suzanne, also very active and very strong and in Rotary. They're major donors to our Rotary Foundation and members of the League West Society. So it is my pleasure, my honor to introduce my friend, Holger Knack, the President-elect of Rotary International. Holger.
Thank you very much, Barry. I hope I'm good to understand. I'm good audible. That's we all know that's from time to time changing. Yes, thank you. And my Rotary Club in Germany is the Rotary Club of Herzogtum Lauenburg-Mölln. I think it's not so difficult. But indeed, so when I was joining this Rotary Club, I don't know that there was a need to for translation and for pronunciation of this name. So thank you. Yes, I'm just half an hour ago, I was in India for another P.E.T.S. That was totally interesting. And like this, they start with the national anthem. So and everybody has to stand up, and just looking into just seeing trousers, and unfortunately they played the wrong anthem from Germany. But okay, that's nobody took care of that. That's not a problem. Yes, I'm sitting here as all of you. I'm sitting at home here in Germany, and I think it's right now 6 weeks ago that I have been in Evanston, and so after the office closed and after all traveling were canceled, so Suzanne and I flew home. And to be very honest, we feel, yes, really safe being here at home in times like this here. And in Germany, we are definitely on the lucky side. We are able to do nearly everything. We can leave our house. We are not allowed to make social contacts out of the family. So we are not, all restaurants are closed, our hotels are closed, the bigger shops are closed. We are not able to play golf, by the way, because all sport clubs are closed. But we are able to go outside. We are able to walk or to go into my forest. So this is all possible. So our life is not changing so much right now. And I'm all day long on the internet. So this is my last meeting, and then these Rotary International. What is the name? Telethon is following in 2 hours. But so I spent already 5 hours, a little bit more than 5 hours on the internet today. But what is okay? So probably we don't know where the pandemic will go. But probably I'm the first president staying 365 days at home, while past President Barry was traveling, I think 340 days. So I probably will stay at home. So it's how it is. Nobody can change that. But I can tell you, I'm probably the president with the most contacts, personal contacts. Okay, virtual, but I have the opportunity to speak to much more Rotarians than presidents before me. So okay, but you know, it's how it is. We can't change that. I think so. We should take this opportunity. And why are we here today? Simply, all of us love Rotary. Otherwise, we would be outside or enjoying sun. Okay, sun enjoying in your area is not as important as in my area because we have not so much sun here at home right now. But so we really love Rotary. And all of us are taking leadership roles in times of a dramatic historic crisis right now. And all of us know that there are hopes and challenges before of us, but mostly, and of course, there are opportunities. And since I never thought about that before, how my theme would fit into what we are really experiencing right now, how opportunities are as important or would be as important as it is right now. So as this is P.E.T.S, and there are, yes, hopefully many, no, I think, I'm sure many club presidents here on this Zoom meeting. So I just want to let club presidents know that in the coming year, you are the most important people in Rotary. So you are definitely the most important people in Rotary. So I'm pretty much good at talking, better in German than in English. And I know that DGE Charles is good in talking. I know definitely that Barry is good in talking, but you have to do the work. It's up to the Rotary Club to make everything possible. Our ideas, what we think is important for Rotary, you have to do it. And so this is why you are the most important people with your Rotary Club, not just next year, every year. And I'm counting on you, and I'm totally sure you will the best what you ever you will do the best what you can do to make this a really great year. As I said, the coronavirus has changed everything. So we can't meet again, so we have to be in Zoom meetings like this. But we can see each other. We can talk about Rotary. We can make plans. We can do our training, what we are doing right now. And so even in this crisis, and especially now, Rotary opens opportunity for us and, of course, for the people we serve. And with our commitment to service above self, we will be able to overcome, I think, this great humanitarian challenge. And this is the first thing I would like to ask you, because that's all about virtual. Please make sure that all of your club members are able to join meetings like this year. So we won't let others behind. We really want every club member joining a virtual meeting. And this is very easy with this year, because you don't need a computer. It's easy to join a Zoom meeting with a smartphone, and they probably just need some help to get in. Then please call them and tell them how they can get into a Zoom meeting. And I'm pretty sure they will love it. And one other thing is very important. So club meetings are right now, virtual club meetings are totally interesting for us. All of us are excited. But I think after a few weeks, a club meeting, a virtual meeting could be boring. So please make sure that these meetings keep interesting. And there are so many things how to keep it interesting. We can invite people from all over the world, much new opportunities. And Barry, thank you for inviting me to your Rotary Club. So I try to do what I can also to join meetings, but keep it interesting. And also there are new ways for connecting. There are so many Rotary clubs are working on the same project in your area, or in the United States, or in Germany. So they don't know from each other. And so these are new ways to connect. And with this, club meetings could be much more interesting and again, totally new opportunities for all of us. And then, of course, all of us are hoping that things are coming back to normal. And I really ask you, please, in your Rotary Club, don't come back to normal, because this is the opportunity for change. And I'm always talking about being creative and let's look for change, and let's us be revolutionary. This is indeed the time. Yes, if times will change, and all of us hope they will change. So I'm asking you, in your own Rotary Club and your district, put everything on the test what you are doing right now. Start from scratch. Think about the manner of your meetings, your locations, your days, times, everything. Your events, your fundraising events, your projects, how you invite new members. Put everything on the test. Now is the time to think about that. I'm always asking clubs to do a strategic meeting. This is something to discuss on a strategic meeting. And then please think about where your club wants to be in 5, probably in 10 years. And what is really important, think about what is the added value your club offers members. This is so important. If your club wants to stay relevant, you have to meet what you're offering to members. With this, your club can become much more attractive, flexible, and effective. So please don't waste this crisis. Don't waste this opportunity. So we are able to really to do great things. And even coming back to normal, if I think about your intro, your video. So I hope many governments in this world don't get back to normal. I know that my governor is really working. So now we are really, our Green Party in Germany becomes more and more important. And they are working on things not to go back to normal, because this change, I think that's the opportunity for everything. Also to create, yes, a new economy, a new world. But let's see. My concern is now how much the economy will be affected by the lockdown everywhere. Yes, our major problem, all of you know that, is membership. So many parts of the world, membership is going down, and we have problems to keep our members. And this is something really we have to change. And I think we should really look for good members in our Rotary Club. You know, we are leaving every year 150,000 members, and we are gaining 150,000 members. And people who leave your Rotary Club are talking and others are listening, and that will affect our image. I'm asking really every Rotary Club worldwide, please select your members very carefully. Make sure that they are a good fit to your Rotary Club. And what is as important, please make sure that your Rotary Club meets their expectations. If we don't meet their expectations, we will leave us. And then I think care is very important. We have to take care of them. We have to make friends for life. So please take care of your members, new and old, whatever. Make sure that they are engaged. You are looking for friends for life. And we have to make sure that our Rotary clubs are attractive for younger members. And I'm really looking for engaging and including our Rotaractors. And I know there's no president ever than Barry, who was really so focused on Rotaract. And I'm working towards the same goal. So we are really absolutely in line with this. So I think I don't have to ask you to take care of your Rotaractors. It's more important in Germany. But so, you know, this is not our future. They are like us today. And a Rotary Club is as a Rotary Club, member of Rotary International, doing the same work, doing the same meetings with the same core values. When I'm always focused on young professionals and Rotaractors, and of course I'm doing that, I'm also thinking of other members. So there's one saying that's always, there's no wrong age to become a Rotarian. So every age has something to contribute. So we can also look for young retirees or early retirees, because they are also a good fit to our Rotary clubs. So, and then of course we learned that we can grow with new club models. So we are really looking right now for different new innovative club models. And please, if something happened in your area, please support these models. This will also strengthen your own Rotary club. So my last message is always regarding polio. And these are tough times because everything is about Corona right now. And especially because we had to stop our door-to-door vaccinations right now. That's impossible during a lockdown, and nearly every country is locked down right now, going from door to door to vaccine children. And so it's much more difficult. But we made this promise to the children of the world that we will stop and end polio. And as Rotarians, we keep our promise. So I'm really asking you really to keep on contributing for this program. It will be much more important if we find a coronavirus, because when it comes to vaccination, worldwide vaccination, because of Rotary, there is the structure, there is the logistics in East Asia and all over Africa to do this vaccinations immediately. We are able to fight the Ebola virus in Western Africa just because of the polio structure. So they were able to react immediately. And this is the same with Corona. The structure is there, the logistics are there just because of polio. And then I think we really are first front with our polio if this time is coming. So we are all people from different backgrounds. You in the Caribbean, I'm here in Germany. Different generations, young and old, different languages, totally different cultures. And even the way we live Rotary is totally different, country to country and club to club. I'm sure there's no Rotary club like the other in your district. And that diversity makes us really great. We are all bound in friendship, and we believe on the four-way test. Rotaries experience a different way everywhere, but the four-way test remains the same for everyone. But you know, the four-way test, it's not the only Rotary value. For me, tolerance is so important right now. In Rotary, we are standing for values of equality, tolerance, and peace. And tolerance becomes so much more concerned and relevant in so many parts of the world right now. Rotary is not political and it must stay that way. But when things obviously go wrong, we cannot look away. Rotarians must not be speechless. We stand by our values and our P.E.T.S. And we are measured not only by our results, but also by our attitude. Rotary provides opportunities for leadership. All of us have taken on great new responsibilities right now. And this is our opportunity to strengthen our network. Not for our personal glory, but for the good of Rotary. We believe that every act of service, big and small, create opportunities for the people who need our help. And we also know that every act of service will inspire and change us. Rotary is not just a club that you join. Rotary is an invitation to endless opportunities. And our greatest opportunity is to do this together. The journey in front of us next year is not about I and my. I will not be accomplishing anything of lasting importance. But together, there is no limit to what we can achieve if we focus on we and our. In our year, we will accomplishing great things. And it's so important that you work closely with your predecessors and your successors. If we want something to change in Rotary, we have to have 3, 4, 5 club presidents in a row to make change possible. And I'm working very close with President Mark Maloney and my successor, President nominee Shekhar Mehta from India, to make change happen. And we are working really in line for the same goals. And one of the greatest joys of our life is to share experiences across generations and cultures. When we learn from each other and build friendship that transcends ages and borders, we make the world a better and more peaceful place. Rotary is such a wonderful and unique organization that we all love. And it is our mission to advance and protect Rotary for the generations to come. Rotary opens opportunities for the people we serve and for ourselves. Thank you very much.
Holger, thank you so much. What a great message. Really appreciate it. I can assure you that our district is going to make you proud. So keep an eye on District 702. Thanks for being with us.
Possibilities are all around us. Everywhere we look, we see opportunity. We see potential in unexpected places. And when we share our knowledge, vision, and connections, we turn great ideas into action. In communities all around the world that we call home. Like transforming an old bus to feed hungry children, or providing life-saving equipment to those who need it most. From fighting disease to rebuilding schools, together we can make real change happen. We're Rotary. We are people of action. Get involved today at Rotary.org.
Well, thank you all. Our next speaker is someone who is very familiar to 99% of you. We all know that our district governor, Delma Maduro, has been a great leader this year. thrust into the middle of interesting changes and helping us to adapt to what we have to do to live in the current new normal. Delma is from the beautiful British Virgin Islands. I can assure you, we will be there to help. For Delma's career spans over the last 42 years, including time with a private trust company, Provident Trust, and with the Attorney General's Office of the Government of the Virgin Islands, in the tourism industry, and with Rotown Wholesale Trading Limited. Good diversity background, good business, bachelor's degree in business administration, certainly in the right background to help lead our organization. And we're so proud of what she's done as the first female president of her club. And I know all the females in our audience are clapping and cheering and proud of her for being the first president of the club, the Rotary Club of Tortola. Also was public relations chair for 3 years. She's been an RLI discussion leader, a Paul Harris Society member, showing her commitment to our Rotary Foundation, and of course, a Bequest Society member. Delma has been our friend. She has worked tirelessly to bring our district together. It's a new normal we're in. Our district was the highest membership growth of our zone, and we should all be very proud of that. I thank Delma for her leadership. It's my pleasure to introduce to you your current district governor, Delma Maduro.
Thank you very much, Barry. Yes, thank you very much, Barry, and good morning to my fellow Rotarians and Rotaractors. In particular, distinguished panelists, including President-elect Holger, and of course, our very own past international president, Barry Racine, and of course, our esteemed Governor-elect Charles. I am really, before I go that, let me also say a very, very special welcome and good morning to the future district and club leaders. This is really your time, so I'm hoping that you'll make the most of it. Now, I am really honored and pleased to be the governor of our amazing District 7020. Part of this historic P.E.T.S training. It shows the strong leadership that we have in District 7020 and our ability to adopt. So congratulations, DGE Charles and your training team. Now my presentation is going to give a brief overview of where we are as a district. I will discuss membership, which will include our young leaders. I'll also talk about our foundation and highlight some of our projects. Next, Lindsay. Next, please. Okay, so in terms of a general overview, District 7020 is alive and well. And like I mentioned earlier, I think that this P.E.T.S online is a very, very strong demonstration of the resiliency and creativity of a district, which actually boils down to our clubs. So congratulations to you, clubs of District 7020. Of course, we've been presented like everywhere else in the world with COVID-19, and I do believe that we are managing very well. We encourage our clubs to continue to meet online regularly, and of course, to respond wherever you can to mitigate against COVID-19, as well as to help with some of the economic fallouts that I know that our countries are facing. Of course, we couldn't do what we're doing with engaged Rotarians, and these engaged Rotarians with our clubs, we're able to do some very impactful projects. And very importantly, we have a very bright future ahead of us because we have many bright and enthusiastic Rotaractors, interactors, and of course, our early actors. Next. Next, please. To look at membership, you would have heard from a past Rotary International Director, Barry, that District 7020, our district, we're leading both zones 33 and 34 in membership growth. At the beginning of June, we were 2,384, beginning of July, that is, we were 2,384 members. And a few days ago, we were 2,480. But yesterday, I got a message from our staff membership lead, Audley Knight, and he told me the good news that we actually increased by another 3. And I think this is such a good thing because in these times, we continue to increase our membership. When you look at that, you can see what the average is like for the zones 33 and 34, and this is negative 0.30%. So a round of applause to District 7020. Our retention rate is also quite good. It's at 93.34%, and it's second only to a neighboring district or friends over there in 7030. So a big shout out to you in 7030, and we're very, very, very close behind you. And this compares to an average of our zones of 90.67%. We have 85 clubs, which compares to 86 at the beginning of the year. Unfortunately, we lost one of our clubs, P.E.T.S from Haiti. And even a few days ago, we were looking at the possibility, or they were looking at the possibility of being reinstated. However, at the end of the day, they didn't think that under the current economic situation that they would have been able to sustain it. So we lost one club. But even with the termination of that particular club, our membership growth is up. Of course, a big shout out to East Nassau, because we have, for the very first time in our district, a satellite club, which was sponsored by the East Nassau Club. And we are currently looking at the possibility of a charter application for a prospective club, which has 26 members. Next. So to look at how our clubs are actually broken down by size, I think this is a really interesting slide. It shows that clubs with, with 25 members and less, that they are the slight majority of the clubs in our district. But leading the charge in terms of numbers is none other than the Rotary Club of East Nassau with 145 members. And for everyone's information, this count also includes the members from or of the new satellite club. So you can have a look just so that everyone is aware. Our strategic goal is to have a minimum of 20 members in each club. And I have seen where some clubs have been making a strong effort to increase the members to at least 20, because it's really critical if we're going to get the work done, that we have the members through which the work can be done. Next, please. Our next slide shows the breakdown between the genders. And I must say that here in District 7020, we have a pretty impressive showing of 41% female compared to 56% male. And I know that our clubs are much better off having women in them. We do still have one club in the Bahamas, and hopefully in time they would realize the benefit of having women in their club. But this is not to say that they're not doing a great job. They are doing a great job. Thank you. Next slide. I will now like to take a look at our youth services, which include Rotary, Interact, and Early Act clubs. And just a reminder that these clubs add tremendous value and impact to our district. And what this also means is that the future of our district looks very bright because of our young people. And I want our young people, because we have some of them on the call, that while we may not get everything absolutely right, we want you to know that you are very, very important to us, that we love you, and that we're here for you, and to remind you that you are our future. So starting with Rotaractors, next please. Oh, it's here. We did have, at the start of the year, we had 52 clubs, and this has been increased by 2 new Rotaract clubs. And I do believe that in the very near future, we will be adding another 4 clubs. We have one that's already, yes, we expect to be adding another 4 clubs, I believe, according to our Rotaract district or district Rotaract representative. So let's look at Interact. Next slide. The story about our Interact clubs is a little bit different from that of Rotaract, in that you will see that at the beginning of the year, we had 116 Interact clubs. Unfortunately, 26 of those clubs were terminated at the end of last year. And this has to do with the records for the last 2 years needing to be reconciled with what is actually happening on the ground, comparing what's on record with the total number of active clubs. And unfortunately, there were 26 that were no longer active. So at the end of this month, we had a total of 91 clubs, and we have 1 that is pending certification, and my understanding is that we have another 4 under serious consideration. Next. With respect to Early Act Club, they stand at 35 clubs, with 2 additional clubs having been added this year. I must sound a note of caution though, in that in this COVID-19 period, Interact and Early Act clubs, because of their affiliation with schools, they're all school-based, we're having some issues with them, and so some serious work needs to be done to get these clubs up and running, functioning very, very well immediately after COVID-19. And I do know that our Interact chair is working with a number of clubs to see whether or not, to look at the possibility of some of these members doing projects at home, things like gardening, recycling, and reading projects. Next, please. There are opportunities, of course, for us to do more with our clubs, even though we have a very, very strong relationship with our Rotaract and Interact clubs and Early Act clubs. There's always the opportunity for us to do a little bit more. And in particular, as it relates to our Interact clubs, we believe that we could do more, we could help by making sure that they are trained properly to carry on the work within their clubs, and so that they have a better understanding about the fundamentals and core values of Rotary. Next, please. We all know that here in District 7020, we take training seriously, and every year we try to do a number of RLI programs, which is Rotary Leadership Institute. Earlier this year, we were able to, not earlier this year, last year, we were able to have a new arrangement with the Rotary Leadership Institute Sunshine Division, of which we are a member, and this will actually put us in good stead. We may end up having a few dollars to help with additional training. But on the year, we have only been able to execute one RLI because of COVID-19. And so we had a total of 64 participants across the 4 programs that were done. Now you understand my math. Casualties of COVID-19 for RLI included St. Martin, Cayman Islands, and Bahamas. Right now, there is not the capability or capacity to do RLI online. I have reached out to the Rotary Sunshine Division to see whether or not something may be possible in the not too distant future. Let's now, next please. Let's now look at a foundation giving program. We can see that our goal for this year is 258,000, just short of 300,000, and we are at $209,526, with 75% of our clubs having goals on Rotary.org. Now, there are some concerns that have been expressed as to whether or not we're going to be able to meet this goal, given the current economic situation brought on by COVID-19. But I am encouraging you to do what you can to help us get as close as possible to our goals. Polio, our goal is just under 91,000. And year to date, we are $56,524,000, with 70% of our clubs having goals. Our district designated polio fund allocation is just under $28,000. And the good news here too is that we have two endowment funds for a total of $130,000. I would like to mention just very, very quickly that we added 163 new Paul Harris Fellows. It's not on the screen, but we added 163 new Paul Harris Fellows, 7 new major donors, 9 new benefactors, and 3 new Bequest Society members, which I think all bodes well for us here in District 7030. Next slide. On the productivity level, we have a total of 24,000 in district designated funds. And for district grants, and this is for 2018-2019, a total of $196,587,000. And the final report for this has only just been submitted. So our clubs really, really need to make a commitment to get our reporting done in a more timely manner. With any luck, the district grant, the funds for our district grants, which is estimated at just under $69,000, we hope that we will have this available to us very, very, very shortly. We have a total of 44 open grants with World Fund support of $1,270,901, with total funding of just over $3 million. And just to share with everyone, we have been successful, or the clubs in the Bahamas have been successful in securing a grant for just over $131,000. Next, please. Now, to look at our foundation giving, I'm not going to go through all the clubs, so just have a quick look at it. We do have a number of clubs, 14, that are 100% foundation giving clubs. Congratulations to all of you. The expectation is that even in spite of where we are with COVID-19, the expectation is that this will increase. Next slide. 100% Erie given clubs. This is being presented to you. And again, I have the same expectation that we will see an increase in this before the end of the year. Next. Our foundation given, top given per capita clubs, or top 3. And they are St. Thomas East, the Rotary Club of St. Thomas East, the Rotary Club of Montego Bay East, and the Rotary Club of Sunrise of Road Town here in the beautiful British Virgin Islands, I might add. Congratulations to all of you. Now, next slide. We're going to change gears and switch to district projects. And this is really just a brief synopsis of what we have been doing. We did not plan to have Hurricane Dorian as a, no, we did not plan to have a project in Abaco, but Hurricane Dorian made sure that that it became a reality. And so with support from district management team, we see where we've been able to raise some $1.6 million, and you can see the devastation that has been there with 29,000, almost 30,000 persons being affected, with damages in $3.4 billion. And like I mentioned, very pleased that the district was able to help raise $1.6 million. Now, also, I must congratulate and thank all of the clubs in the district who really felt the need and reached out and lent their support directly to Rotary Bahamas to help with the recovery efforts there. And I'm sure we're going to learn more of what is happening there during the course of the next few months. But we do have a very strong team on the ground that has oversight of this. The next project is the Diabetes Prevention and Management Program, My Health, My Life, Stop Diabetes Now. Many of the clubs, several clubs across our district activated programs to help in this fight. And I would like to mention the clubs of the areas of Haiti, Grand Bahama, St. Martin, BVI, and Jamaica for the work that they are doing with this. District Governor-elect Charles has indicated that this is a project that will continue. Thank you very much. And so I know that this can only go for things. Next slide. Now, I'd just like to mention another project, an audacious project. It's actually more of a program than it is a project, which is hand wash. And they are currently building the framework and structure to develop or to deliver clean water, improved sanitation, hygiene to all the people of Haiti. You're going to hear a lot more about this from our chair, Jeremy, during P.E.T.S. I'm not going to elaborate much on this, except to say that we're in the final stages of the organizational structure, as well as the strategic plan. And I'd also like to mention that we have done an amazing job. The Hand Wash Steering Committee has done an amazing job in securing partnerships, district partners to work with us on this, as well as other NGOs, as well as the government of Haiti and various departments in Haiti. I'd also like to mention that what is being done in hand wash relies a lot on the leadership we have on the ground in Haiti, with persons like past Governor Robert, the ambassadors on the ground, etc. And the team is currently in the process of defining the roles of ambassadors and looking at 10 ways in which individuals, clubs, and districts can support this program. And this will be rolled out very shortly, because indeed, we are going to be needing more persons on the ground in Haiti to help with the execution of these programs. So thanks again to all in Haiti and on this call who are part of this project. And just to mention that we are close to completing not just one, but 2 pilot projects in Haiti. Next, please. On that note, I would like to just talk about the upcoming events, which of course is the Rotary International Virtual Convention, the 28th to the 26th of June. And then we're going to have our very own 7020 virtual conference during the week of 8 June. Stay tuned for more on that. And there will be the District 7020 Rotaract Awards and changeover ceremony as well. Next slide. So to conclude, District 7020 is doing rather well. Yes, COVID-19 has presented some serious problems for us, but it has presented some amazing opportunities. And one of those, of course, is the ability for us to meet no matter where we are. It's less expensive, it takes less time, and our clubs have been using this very, very well across the district. We've seen successes in our membership growth. We have some amazing projects that we're working on, and we continue to do well with our youth programs. Now, I think that we could not think, I know that we could not achieve what we have done without the excellent leadership of past governors or various district committees or clubs or AGs. And so the success of our district is really a result of the collective efforts of all, including my beloved husband of 47 years who's sitting next to me. So I wish to express heartfelt thanks and appreciation to all for your kind support. And I am, of course, also appreciative of the support given by President Maloney and Rotary International in general, as well as the support from our Zone 34. DGE Charles, I commend you and your team and your training team on this virtual training session. And with your awesome lineup of speakers and trainers, I'm sure you're going to have a very, very successful P.E.T.S. So congratulations again and great success to everyone involved. Thank you. Merci.
Thank you so much, Delma. Really appreciate your leadership this year. Faced with Hurricane Dorian, catastrophic hurricane for us, and then COVID-19, it's been a challenging year for leadership, but you are bringing us through it, and I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you. Very kind of you. Thank you.
So we move on to our next leader. You can see the kind of leadership we have in this district. You see those numbers, you see how our district is doing. We love bragging to our president-elect. This is just a really special opportunity for us. But next coming up, we have our district governor-elect Charles Seeley, who again, I'm sure most of you know. And it's my pleasure to introduce him because we have worked together for a lot of years. Charles has been CEO at Doctors Hospital for 12 years, but been at Doctors Hospital for 21 years. And I have to tell you, I would not have retired from Doctors Hospital if I didn't know there was a leader there who was going to take it beyond where I could have taken it. And it was because of Charles' leadership ability that I knew I could walk away and know that it was left in good hands. And for that, I will always appreciate and thank Charles for what he's done. He's got a background in banking, in private business, and an interesting background in the police force. And quite often you could see that the police, he has a special love for being a policeman, even still in the reserves, and still gets called up occasionally to help out in special circumstances. He has his master's degree in healthcare administration. He also has a Bachelor of Law degree, so don't mess up legally, guys. We have a lawyer with us. He's attends occasionally. He went to seminars at Harvard Business School to make sure he stays up to date. He joined Rotary in 1997, was president of the Rotary Club of Southeast Nassau, obviously been assistant governor in our district, is a Paul Harris Fellow, a member of the Paul Harris Society, and recently became a major donor. Why does he become a major donor? Not only to support the Rotary Foundation, but because he's a leader who wants to lead by example. He knows he can't come to you and ask you to contribute more unless he's already done it. He has. That's the kind of leader that you have. Member of the Young Presidents Organization. A very interesting note on his bio. He's a chief judge for the Bahamas Bodybuilding Fitness Federation. So not only in the police, but in good shape too. He's a little scary to me, but okay. He's married to Rochelle, who is just right with him every step of the way and going to be a great help for him. Got a great family. He's a family man. He squeezes time as much as he possibly can to do things, business, family, Rotary. He does what he needs to do. So it's my pleasure to introduce to you your district leader. And fellow Rotarians in District 702, it's a rare opportunity to have not only your district governor for your year, but also your president of Rotary International for your year here with you to help you begin your new year to take Rotary to new places. Please welcome District Governor-elect Charles Seeley.
I know it ain't easy. Yeah, you passed on determine your destiny. You'll see it through just hold on to me. Hey, hey. We'll step out this year. And if nobody else can see, only you can be. Only you can be now. I believe in you.
What you see, your vision will soon be reality. Hey, hey. Gonna seize the day. The clouds have left, the skies are clearer now. We will rebuild together now. Hey, you'll be okay. And if nobody else can see all that you can be,
Good morning, everyone. And thank you so much for waking up this morning and joining us for this, what is going to be an exciting time of training in the month of May. I'm so excited to be able to say that we have got heavy hitters all through our P.E.T.S training. And I trust that you can confirm that by the fact that we've got our international president here with us this morning. A sure delight and a treat for any P.E.T.S training to have the leader who has set the real North Star for us with us present. So I really want to thank Olga for being with us this morning. And I know he sits in the background a lot, but let me tell you, we are proud in 7020 to have as our ambassador for how greatness looks in 7020, past Rotary International President Barry, who's with us. And you know, the joy of the fact that he wants to give constantly, and he agreed to be a trainer. Having been at the top of Rotary, he had no problem saying, I want to give back to my district, and I want to thank Barry for that. And I really appreciate him for his love for Rotary, but certainly his love for 7020. My DG, Delmer, thank you so much. This baton passing is going to be very, very easy. She has set the bar high. 7020 continues to be strong. And hopefully the team that we've put together is going to not only continue there, but take it to new heights. And so this morning, I want to welcome each of you as we talk a little bit about where we're going in this new year as a team and as we collaborate. I started with the song One World that reminded us very much so that we are absolutely one world, connected. I think COVID-19 actually showed that to us, that something happening as far as Asia could find its way to the Caribbean tells you very comfortably that we're one world. And so when we are concerned, we can't only be concerned about what's happening in our neck of the woods. We've got to be concerned with what's happening in the world. And hopefully through the collaborative efforts that we're going to talk about a little bit today, we can see how together we can partner to do that. So let's talk a little bit in the presentation this morning. So I had an exciting time in San Diego. Holger made it very easy. As much as I loved Hamburg, I really, really enjoyed San Diego, where all the incoming district governors got an opportunity to hear from the Commander-in-Chief on the focus of Rotary opening opportunities. And there's so many ways, and we talk about the way we can collaborate and connect, the many things that we can do to bring and do good in the world. But I was reminded this week in a Zoom call with my governor by another governor that not only does Rotary open opportunities, opportunities open Rotary. And we could see it again from COVID-19. Here it is now that if I were to give each of you a passport to say the amount of clubs you visited in the last couple of weeks, each of you would have visa stamps all through your passports and will need a new passport. We get to travel the world in moments. We get to visit clubs that we've never been to before. And all of these opportunities have happened as a result of what's going on in our world today. And so the opportunities to be innovative, I mean, Rotaries internationally are making decisions on a much faster pace than they've ever done before, realizing that times have changed. And so yes, although we have taken the charge to be change agents, we're going to not be the same, but we're going to be better. So we visited San Diego, and you can see the picture there. We had a great time with Susan and Holger as we learned of where we're going to go. And Holger talked a little bit today about some of the things that are very important and passionate to him, but certainly to Rotary. I want to share a little bit on those and just remind you of these key divots that you need to always remember. The fact that we're going to not create new innovative clubs. We're going to innovate our current clubs and create new innovative clubs. We're going to make sure that we plan not just for today, but also for tomorrow. We're going to not only make sure that our members fit good right where they are, but we want them to fit everywhere. We want to make sure that members understand they're not just part of a Rotary club. They're part of Rotary. And so we're going to make sure that the experience that they have is one of enjoyment, and one, of course, that they feel that they want to share with others. And yes, we're this close. We're this close to ending polio now, so we cannot take our feet off the gas. But the beautiful thing about this, as we are this close, our eyes can also open to what are the next big opportunities out there for Rotary. And I'm telling you, strategically, that's what we're looking at. The awards, the citation for the presidential citation have come out. They've made it easier for us. We can go online, we can see them, we can document on them. I want to make sure that each of our clubs consider this an opportunity. You only have to hit 13 of the 25, but you know, we're in 70-20. We're not just going after the 13. We're going to go after the 25. Let's go and show the greatness that we are as a district. I've had the real great pleasure of meeting with a team to talk about, you know, where do we go next? And, you know, as the slide changes, I want you to, this wheel in the center there is an embodiment of the connectedness of who we are. And so let's talk a little bit about the theme for this year. I was invited by Rotary International to not have a separate theme from that of Rotary. And this has been, of course, one of the things that governors look forward to. They sit down and they come up with ideas of what is it that they want to focus on, and they come up with a theme. But I had already envisioned in my mind that I believe that there ought to be a level of uniformity. There ought to be a consistency in the messaging from Rotary International to the Rotary clubs. And so it was an easy thing for me to say yes. And so our logo, our theme for this year is going to be the same logo that has been given to us by our president. Rotary opens opportunities. Then, of course, we had an opportunity to look at our Rotary logo for District 70-20. And one of the good things we were able to do in this instance was to freshen it up, make sure that it's consistent with our Rotary branding. And I want to thank Rotarian Sheila Bethel, our guru when it comes to public image, who quickly went and freshened up the Rotary District 70-20 logo. And always remember, that hibiscus is a representation of the Caribbean, and those 10 stars around us is the embodiment of District 70-20, the various countries that represent our district. So, our focus. What is going to be our focus? This is the North Star. This is where, as club presidents, as leaders in your clubs, these are the things that I would like for you to really concentrate on as we talk about doing good. Number one, for some time now, we've talked a little bit about it. We've talked about Rotary and Rotaract. We've talked about it, and we've made some attempts to increase that relationship. Thank you, District Governor Delma, for recognizing that on this call today are not only past leaders of our district, not only our international president, and also some of our past assistant governors and et cetera. Also here on this call are the Rotaractors from District 70-20, the presidents and secretaries who have been invited to every session of P.E.T.S. They're going to be integrated into the training as they were at our GTTS on a training seminar in February. We have ensured that they are part of our training going forward. An even better treat is this. We've collaborated with District 70-30 to be able to host the P.E.T.S conference this year. We now have 2 districts who are joining partnership to be able to do this. And I want to thank District Governor-elect Lyle Chase for agreeing to this. And together, I think we're going to do some even greater things. But we also have who are going to be participating at future sessions of this P.E.T.S, the Rotaract leaders of District 70-30. So we will have all of our leaders in Rotaract participate. But if you look at this photo, there's something I want you to see. It is the handshake. Well, actually not. It's a fist pump. This is just to remind us in the way we communicate. There are ways that we interact one with another in Rotary. We cannot presume that that's the same way we have to interact with Rotaractors. And similarly, Rotaractors have to figure out the way how to best communicate, relate with Rotarians. We've got to make this a committed endeavor to be able to ensure that through our handshake, we can partner and do some really great things. So I'm excited about what we're going to do in Rotaract and Rotary, and I look forward to your participation there. What's our next focus? Well, leadership. Leadership. I spent a lot of time thinking on how would we do P.E.T.S. And one of the things I didn't want to spend a lot of energies on was really going through the fundamentals of your roles as presidents, secretaries, etc. We set a course in January to start that, where you've been given resources, you've been given access to Rotary Club Central, you've had P.E.T.S that went through the fundamentals of it. But what I wanted to happen in P.E.T.S was to talk about leadership. This is what's going to define us. It's not only going to be the toolkit you have, but it's going to be the energies, the ideas, the innovations, and the intent to be able to do good. And so we want you to really, first of all, get the passion, but identify the purpose. What is it that you're going to do differently in your clubs? How are you going to be a change agent? Where's the members and how are they engaged? How do you get them engaged? Think of how you, along with your club, can really be better than you were before. And so I'm looking for dynamic leadership, but know that you are not alone. We are here to help you. We've got an awesome district committee who are ready, set to go to assist you. So if you need help, call on us. We're here. And I have changed the leadership model in our district this year to some extent where I have truly empowered our assistant governors. I want them to be your first line of defense. I want them to be your appendage if you run into an issue. And I've asked them to be intimately involved with all of the clubs under their purview. I'm going to be holding them accountable to ensure that you do good. What's our next focus? Well, I hope all of you agree. The world needs more Rotarians. But guess what? They're out there. They're out there. There's so many people who are doing good. The only thing is they don't have a Rotary pin on us yet, and we just need to pin them. But here's our philosophy this year in membership. I want you to keep them, and then I want you to get them. What do I mean? I want you to focus on the members within first. Make sure that they're having a wonderful experience in Rotary. Concentrate on them, not as a group, one-on-one. Get to meet and know each of your members and know what excites them and realize what we may have missed in getting them involved. We want you to keep them, get them excited, and guess what's going to happen? Their enthusiasm is going to permeate, and you're going to find out that the members are going to come just from the glow that's going to come from them because they're enjoying their experience in Rotary. Then I want you to go and then get them. We now have a product that when they come in now, we don't have to have an open and back door where Rotarians come in the door and they leave at the back door. We would close that back door for good because we realize that when they come in here, we're going to create a wonderful experience for them. And this is a clarion call to all the clubs. Think on this. If you look exactly how you looked 20 years ago, you're ready for a wardrobe change. So I'm hopeful that you're going to take the mantle this time and take advantage of how do we do it differently? How do we look at things that can make our clubs better? Our next focus, our environment. Just this morning, I got the news that in Puerto Rico, in the southern side of Puerto Rico, there was another earthquake. In our district, we're still trying to grapple with not just Hurricane Dorian, but hurricanes in the last few years that have impacted our district. All around the world, we're seeing calamities left, right, and center. We realize that we ought to do a better job of taking care of Mother Earth. And I'm hopeful that as a key focus this year, our environment, that you would focus on ideas and programs that will continue to enhance the beauty of not only our islands, but our world. See if you can participate not only in projects in your own island, but projects that will have an impact internationally. Our second key focus will come alongside the diabetes prevention. We will continue that absolutely. We made a decision in our DG string, which is myself, Delma, and Patrick Adizua, that we're going to make sure when we plan something, we plan it with a strategic focus. And so we're going to continue on the diabetes prevention program, and make sure that stays in front of you. But I've added another program, and I've added this based on a relationship with District Governor-elect for 7030, Lyle Chase, who has considered this to be equally as important for his district. And I can see the nexus. I can see how they interrelate. And this is just concentrating on our children. And the obesity challenges that we're seeing with so many young persons who, if we don't get this unchecked, will be a part of a lifestyle. And the same diabetic concerns that we are talking about will be a reality later on. So childhood obesity prevention is going to be a key focus, and you're going to get more information. We're going to look for collaborative projects that we can do with 7020 on this, but we want to put data out at the end of the day that shows what we've done with regards to this fight. And hopefully, again, this is a project that continues on. Our next focus. You would have heard me multiple times talk about this. I honestly believe we are stronger together. We've got to be with partnerships. It's a different platform today. There was a time when it was so easy to go to the corporate community and get big donations. Well, you would have noticed that's changed. Their budgets have, have shrunk to some extent. It's even more difficult. They've got other competing agencies coming to them. We've got to find ways to partner. And you will see that in the district emphasis, we are looking at partnership at multiple levels, including at the club level, with Rotary, with other clubs in other countries in our district, with other clubs in other districts. We want to take this partnership to another level, and I'm now adding another element, partnership with other organizations. Find your Kiwanis, find your links, find your other organizations that are going to partner with them. Why? When we come together and we leverage our resources, you will find that we can do more. So I'm hopeful that you will take up the charge. You'll recognize the beauty, the energy, the innovation that will come when we unite through partnership. We are indeed stronger together. Finally, you will notice that I placed this one actually on a film reel. And I did it because being a Rotarian is not a moment in time. It's continuity, it's a process. It's something that you live by. And I want all of us to adopt the wonderful truth that not only I am in Rotary, but I am Rotary. That means in our thoughts, our actions, and our deeds, someone can tell that that person must be a Rotarian. We have a beautiful campaign that we're going to be doing this year, and it's going to be done every month, changing up the videos of persons who are going to come in, and they're going to proclaim, hey, I am Rotary. I stand up to say, look at me. And from me, you will see what Rotary looks like. So I'm going to play a quick video of our first candidates showing and displaying that they are Rotary. Hope you enjoy.
Rotary is where neighbors, friends, and problem solvers identify needs, share ideas, and take action to create change in our communities and across the globe. Some may ask, who is Rotary? The answer is simple.
Je suis Rotary. I am Rotary.
I am Rotary.
I am Rotary. I am Rotary.
Rotary. I am Rotary.
Je suis Rotary.
I am Rotary.
Je suis Rotary. Je suis Rotary.
I am Rotary.
We are Rotary.
Well, I look forward to next month,
Rotary,
we can have
another
group of persons who are going to be showcased as our new I Am Rotary spokespersons.
Rotary is where neighbors, friends, and problem solvers identify needs.
Seeing each of you participate that way. Let's see if we can get this glitch quickly sorted out as we move on. In setting up our district team, one of the things that I wanted to do was to really go back and identify representation from throughout our district. It was extremely important to me that one of the things we did was ensure that there was a participation in ideas, cultural sensitivity by various persons from around our district. I'm pleased to say that in creating this district team, the representation has absolutely that. We've been able to ensure that we have not only representations, but we've got youthfulness, we've got maturity. We also have persons who are part of Rotary, who are going to be a part of the district team as well. And I'm excited about what we can do. We can advance the slides to 2 for me, please. And so as we talk a little bit, keep going. As we talk a little bit about the district team, we just want to make sure that you know that you have the representation of persons on the district team who will represent you as we discuss and as we plan. Communication. Now, this is where I will go on my soapbox and say I have been a little bit disappointed that this is where I think we have a great opportunity to grow. We need to be better at our communication. We need to be better for our sponsors and getting information in. It's only when we can get that information in that we can make the best decisions. So I really want you to look at the opportunity to, one, when you get emails or you have to send those, let's do that in a timely way. We want to be able to communicate. So all our information that we need to get on Club Runner, let's make sure they're there. Right now we have our listing of our incoming committees. We've got all the AGs and our district committee and the presidents. The information is on Club Runner. There's a few more that we need to get in there. But let's get the information in. The district secretary, Carrie, is, listen to me, I tell you, she doesn't sleep. She's constantly sending emails and constantly willing to receive. So feel free to, one, respond to her. If you have a question or concern, please get to her. So Zoom, interestingly, last year, we had already determined that we'll be doing a lot of connections with you through technology. And I guess COVID-19 sought to really embellish that. So yes, I want you to understand that Zoom is going to be our preferred platform that we will be using to be able to communicate. So I'm hopeful that you will all have it downloaded. If you have any issues whatsoever, we've got a real guru now, Lindsay. He's still in training somewhat to get some of the smaller technical stuff, but I promise you, he knows it well. So feel free to call on Lindsay. I guess I'll owe him a bottle of scotch after this is all said and done, but he will certainly help you out. So that's our district committee, and I'm looking forward to some great things coming out of this. Looking forward to communication as we move forward. So, next slide. Our vision has been set out strategically for us. And I believe we have to say it more and more and more so persons can get it ingrained in them. And again, it's together. We see a world where people unite and take action to create lasting change across the globe, in our communities, and in ourselves. For me, the words in white jump out. And those are the words that are my guiding light constantly. That together we unite, we collaborate, we interconnect, we interrelate, and we take action. We're not just thinkers, we're doers. We make things happen. People actually come to Rotary because of our stellar record of making things happen. But here's the next thing that's going to be important for all of our clubs as you look at projects going forward. We don't only want moment in time activities. We want sustainability. We want to be able to empower communities when we go into these communities with projects. Let's make sure that it's not just Rotary going in, but we're being able to connect our hands and our hearts with those persons in those communities so that they can help in ensuring the sustainability of those projects. We want to create lasting change. And the way we do that is we can walk away, but we know the project continues to go on. And so I'm hopeful that those are some of the things you're thinking about as you put your strategic plan together. Projects that you can do, that can span over just the 1 year of your presidency in the planning and execution of Rotary side, but also can span beyond Rotary because we get our partners in the community involved. That's the vision I hope that you will hold on to. So, are you ready? I said, you know, on the mark. I always remember as a child when you're ready to, you do your race. It's on the mark, get set, go. Well, on your mark, here's what I want you to remember. Learn. absorb, absorb, absorb. The more information you have, the better you will be able to manage the opportunities in front of you. Rotary has made it easier. You're going to get some training on how you can access the resources of Rotary, both online and at Rotary International. Then I want you to lead. Lead means that the first thing you do is you look in the mirror and say, okay, what do I have to fix with me? And in that fix, remember, you're not alone. Wherever we can help to make you a better leader, please call on us. I want you to communicate. Communicate in your club and through your club. Get them excited, know what they need. Communicate with your district so we know what you need, where you're going, and how we can come alongside. And then, of course, I want you to be an impact. Be an impact. Let them know that we are here. Increase the visibility of Rotary once you're doing our projects. Look for more opportunities to lead. I look forward to assisting you in the leadership of our district. I look forward to collaborating with you. I look forward to making Rotary even better. Thank you so much. I trust you to enjoy the remainder of our P.E.T.S.
Thank you so much, Charles. I would normally pause and allow the standing ovation to occur, but being Zoom, we have to forego that, but fantastic. Reading the chat message from Marceau, he says this session over the last hour and a half or so has reminded him why he joined Rotary. This is what Rotary is all about. This is what he wants to do. And I remind everybody, we were up to 313 online with us. Go back to your clubs and get the same message to every Rotarian. Give them the inspiration they need to take the opportunities that Rotary gives. So good. Charles, thank you so much for your leadership, for your presentation today. President-elect Holger, District Governor Delma, Charles, our DGE, they've done a fantastic job. Now we have a few minutes because we don't want to miss our 11 o'clock telethon, but we do have a few minutes for questions. And I got a few in the Q&A box, which I'll go ahead and ask. One for Delma, can you give a clearer answer as to why we have 26 clubs terminated? I'm not clear on that myself.
I think it's Rotaract clubs, not Rotary.
That's what I thought. Yeah. So yeah. So
Yes,
that's all about Rotaract.
Not Rotaract. Interact.
Interact clubs. Okay.
Interact clubs.
Gotcha.
One of the important things that we absolutely must do, and we have not been particularly good, and Charles touched on communications. The response sometimes is really not as good as it can be. It's not as prompt. And what happened is that over the last maybe 2.5 years, some of our Interact clubs were deemed to be inactive because the information that helps to confirm their level of activity, it means that on Rotary.org, and an advisor for each Interact club, an advisor appointed by each sponsor club, that information must be updated on Rotary.org. And if it is not, the assumption is that the club no longer exists because we don't have contact directly with the Interact clubs. And so for those 26 clubs, there were no current advisors. Appeals went out to the various clubs. In fact, there could have been more, but the response came back for some. And we couldn't help because the response was not there to confirm that these clubs were actually active, and hence they were terminated.
Okay, great. Thank you, Delma. I appreciate that.
They were first suspended and clubs had an opportunity to go in and make any corrections. But like I said, for 26 of them, nothing happened.
Right. So next question from Robert, talking about the environment. He's aware of the End Plastic Soup project. He'd like to know what the district plan is for the environment. Charles?
So thank you so much, Barry. We have identified a district leader, Corinne, who is going to be really pushing a number of projects in the environment. We actually have a session on the P.E.T.S schedule where we will have a full session to talk about the environment. And one of the things we will be doing is we'll be sending you ideas of projects that you can be doing in your environments. And so, yes, we have some uniqueness. Many of us may have issues with beach erosion, planting trees, but there are other things that we can do within our communities. And so we're going to put a cadre of ideas for you, and we're going to shoot them out to every Rotary Club. So at least to get the thought process going, but we're also going to have a presenter who's going to talk a little bit about the environment for us. And I'm hopeful that you will all attend that, and we can pose some questions very directly to some of our professionals and technocrats in that field.
Great, thank you, Charles. And Charles, while I got you, they're asking what the software you use to make the presentation that you displayed.
Sure. So I use a software called P.E.T.S, and it's I think really dynamic. It's again another example of how we can do things differently. I know PowerPoint is something that we're all used to, but P.E.T.S just seemed like something really exciting to try out. So I hope it didn't go too bad. I know we had a minor glitch, but I trust that you enjoyed the presentation.
Well, clearly a lot of people in chat are saying, we're ready to go, we're ready to go. They're ready to do whatever. They're going to follow you well, Charles and Holger. Our next question for our President-elect Holger. Sometimes, whoops, it just disappeared. Here it is. From Liniqua. Sometimes it's hard to find a balance between wanting to increase the membership of Rotaract and onboarding quality members. Do you think it is sometimes necessary to relax requirements when onboarding our new members?
Yeah, I think that's indeed a challenge. But it's for Rotaract the same thing that what I'm asking Rotarians. Still look for good members and don't look for numbers. I think we are really looking for Rotarians, real Rotarians. And we're also looking for Rotaractors, real Rotaractors. Again, it's not about numbers, it's about really good, engaged members.
Thank you, absolutely true. For the next question from Carl was, what is the average time for the sessions over the next few weeks? I'm pretty sure we're talking about an hour and a half for each session. Maybe if we run a little late, 2 hours. So we want to really keep it short and sweet so we can cover everything and not overwhelm you with hours on the computer. Question was, can we add an environmental committee chair to club run? Charles, did we not already do that?
Yes, we've already done that. If you look at the district committee, you'll see that we do have someone selected, Corinne, who is going to be in charge of that particular portfolio.
Okay, great. Seeing no more questions, I again want to make sure I didn't miss. Oh yeah, there is one here. Hold on. Is there a preferred deadline for change in Constitution bylaws for Rotaract, noting Elevate Rotaract? Well, I think everybody knows the council legislation is coming up in 22. To get into the council, you have to have the recommendations in by December 31st of this year. So any change to our Constitution bylaws must be in and accepted by December 31st of this year. I don't know if Holger, you'd like to add anything to that?
Yes, so you know, there are a lot of decisions to be taken in our regarding also administration. There are still many open points regarding Rotaract, but I think we did definitely the right thing. So start it immediately and not wait until we have all answers ready. So I think that's the new way we should act in Rotary. Let's do it immediately, and if it works, let's go on. Let's put some money in this. If it doesn't work, let's stop. That's the only way to become a faster, more effective organization.
And that's exactly what we need. We need to make sure we are efficient, and we're moving forward and making change with the pace of the world today, in spite of COVID-19. Okay, any other questions? I don't see any. Lindsay's nodding his head. Is there another question I'm missing?
I think there's one in the actual chat box instead of the Q&A, but with the uncertainties presented by the COVID-19 impact in our district and the world, will that change the focus of the district for this year?
Charles, any thoughts on that?
So absolutely not. I think COVID-19 has really accelerated the focus that we have in the district. We have, again, as our mandate, one, the opportunities that we can create, first of all, looking at our international focus. But no, we set the same agenda for this coming year in the district. The question is going to be how we think out of the box and how we can do some of the projects. Until normalcy occurs in some of our areas, we may not be able to physically come out, but we may be able to financially support. We may be able to do some things online. We may be able to do it in a different way. So I think what will be different is not so much our focus, but how we do it. And so we'll be looking to see what ideas we can create in that and what support we can bring to you to make that happen.
Excellent. For President-elect Holger, will our new reality becoming more virtually connected, how will it impact our overall mission to reach the masses with a physical connection? Will Rotary adjust policies to reflect more virtual connections?
Yes, that's one of the board decisions last week, where we encourage everybody to do more virtual meetings, and especially nobody should, no meeting should be mandatory, because this is really up to persons and also to the health of our members, that everybody should decide by him or herself if they are joining an in-person meeting or not. I think this is affected for this year 2020 till the end of this year, but I think we will see that we have to be much more flexible in this case, because in some areas of the world it's possible to meet in person. New Zealand, for example, right now, South Korea, and others, things becomes worse right now. So that's so the only unified message we can send out is please let's do as many virtual meetings as possible and make sure that everybody stay healthy. I think that's number one right now.
Right. Thank you, Holger. And one more question, and then we're going to close out so that Holger has time to go to the telethon, which is important that he does. For Holger, one of the requirements for new members is a physical project. How will we enroll members if we can't do physical work now?
So just to quote our General Secretary, he always said, there is no Rotary police. So that's really up to, as I said, we have to be simply more flexible right now. We are looking for, we are not looking for rules, we are looking for engaged members. And so I think it's easy, this question. Thank you.
Yes, it's a new world, and we need to be creative to make sure we're living correctly in the new world. So I'd like to thank everybody for joining us today. Like I said, we got up to 313 people online with us. We got some fantastic, we know what our district is doing. Thank you, Delma. We know where we're headed. We've got some enthusiasm. Our president-elect of Rotary International, our leader, is with us and gave us a fantastic message. I know you're all taking lots of notes and getting ready to make sure that this district, once again next year, shows as leaders in the Rotary world. And remember, we got a lot more coming up. May 5th, Tuesday, is our next session. And we'll get more into, you're going to really learn some Zoom stuff here, because we're going to actually go into breakout rooms, just like you would if we were in person. Lindsay's shaking his head, scared to death of that one. That's a whole new thing in Zoom that we can do. But we can do it because we're Rotarians. That's what we do. And a special thank you, Charles thanked earlier 7030 for joining us, but special thank you to Sean for helping us put this together and being with us, and a number of members of 703 over here helping with translation, so our French friends all make sure they get it in their language. And from here on now, 7030 and 7020 are going to join together in many sessions, so we could get up to 600, 700 online with us. But we're all working together. You imagine, think for that. We're talking 27 countries in the Caribbean on the same page, on the same computer, talking together about how we can make our Rotary world better. You guys are fantastic. I wish you all the very best. To our presenters, great job today. We got enthusiasm. People on the chat box, they may keep talking on the chat box for the next hour, but we're going to have to close them off. But thank you all. Good luck, and I'll see you on Tuesday. Thank you.
One final thing, the recording will be provided to everyone, so don't get worried about that. We just have to find out how we're going to distribute it to you, but likely to be on the 7020 web page.
Fantastic. Bye all.